Welcome to the Moon in Gemini. Welcome to the Moon in Gemini podcast. I am your witch in residence, April Edwards. This is our astrology of the week, where we follow the movement of the sky and listen for what it's asking of us. This week feels like a threshold between worlds. We begin in Earth, slow, deliberate, and embodied, and by the end of the week, the sky becomes electric. Thoughts speed up, movement increases, something wakes up mentally and energetically. But at the center of the week is the new moon in Taurus, a lunation that asks us to become deeply honest about what we are building, what we value, and whether our lives can actually hold the future we claim to want. Let's walk through it together. On May 13th, we begin the week with support. Mercury in Taurus forms a sextile to Jupiter in Cancer. This is grounding wisdom, not abstract knowledge, but understanding that can be lived. Mercury in Taurus thinks carefully. Jupiter in Cancer expands emotional intelligence and instinct. Together they create a moment where practical thinking and emotional awareness begin cooperating. You may notice conversations that feel stabilizing, a sense of clarity around long-term plans, and the ability to understand your emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. This is not loud insight. This is steady insight, the kind that settles into the body and quietly changes your direction. Also on the 13th, we reach the last quarter moon in Aries, a point of release and reevaluation, a crisis of consciousness, a moment where we recognize what can no longer continue as it has. In Aries, this becomes deeply personal. This moon asks, where are you exhausting yourself through force alone? What are you trying to push forward that no longer has life in it? Aries teaches courage, but sometimes courage also means knowing when to stop fighting something that is already ending. This is a moon of recalibration, not surrender, but strategic release. May 14th, Mercury in Taurus conjunct the Sun in Taurus. This is called a Mercury cazimi, a moment when Mercury sits in the heart of the Sun. Traditionally, this is considered a moment of illumination for the mind. In Taurus, the illumination is practical, embodied, grounded in reality. Something may suddenly become clear, a decision, a value, a truth about what is sustainable. This is not inspiration detached from life. This is clarity about what can actually be built and maintained. Pay attention to what feels undeniable now. The sun burns away confusion. May 16th. Now we arrive at the center of the week, and truly the center of emotional and energetic landscape right now. The new moon in Taurus, conjunct Mercury. New moons are beginnings, but Taurus does not begin impulsively. Taurus begins by asking, can this last? Can this nourish me? Can this support life over time? This lunation is not interested in fantasy. It is interested in foundation. And because Mercury is conjunct this new moon, the themes become conscious. Thought and emotion emerge. The mind becomes deeply aware of what the body already knows. This is a new moon about resources, self-worth, security, the body, money, stability, and the quiet architecture of everyday life. But there is something deeper here too. Taurus is fixed earth. It governs not only what we possess, but what we protect. And sometimes we protect structures that are no longer helping us simply because they are familiar. This new moon asks you to examine that honestly. What are you building your life around? And does it actually support your future? Not aesthetically, not symbolically, practically, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Taurus teaches that manifestation is not a single event. It is repetition, consistency, and devotion to what matters. This is not a glamorous new moon. It is a sacred one, because it asks you to understand that your future is not created by desire alone, but by what you consistently nourish. Also on the 16th, Mars meets Chiron in Aries. This is intense. Mars governs action, anger, desire, and the survival instinct. Chiron reveals wounds. In Aries, these wounds often relate to identity, autonomy, and the right to exist authentically. This transit can bring frustration, sensitivity around independence, old anger resurfacing, or awareness of where you still feel unsafe asserting yourself. But Chiron does not surface pain randomly. It surfaces pain where healing is possible. This conjunction asks, what would you change if you stopped treating your own existence like something that needed permission? This is not gentle healing. It is courageous healing. On May 17th, the atmosphere changes dramatically. Mercury leaves Taurus and enters Gemini, a sign it rules. The mind speeds up, communication quickens, curiosity returns. After the heavy embodiment of Taurus, Gemini brings movement. Questions, conversations, connection. You may feel mentally energized again, more social, more restless, more interested in possibilities. This is the beginning of a faster current. Venus in Gemini, sextile Chiron in Aries. This softens the emotional intensity of the previous day. Healing becomes relational. Conversations may help something old finally move. There is an opportunity here for honesty without defensiveness, connection without self-abandonment, an affection that supports healing rather than avoiding it. Small moments may matter more than expected. And finally, the week ends with electricity. Mercury meets Uranus in Gemini. This is rapid insight, unexpected news, mental breakthroughs. A conversation or realization may arrive suddenly and completely shift your perspective. This energy is brilliant but overstimulating. The nervous system may feel heightened, sleep may become difficult, thoughts may move faster than usual, but this transit also brings innovation, awakening, the sense that something new is entering consciousness, because it is. This week moves from grounding to illumination to rebuilding and to awakening. The new moon in Taurus anchors the entire experience. It asks you to stop thinking about the life you want and begin examining the structures that either support it or prevent it. And then by the end of the week, Mercury and Uranus open the next door. The mind wakes up and the future begins whispering. This week asks you to slow down long enough to understand what truly matters before life speeds up again. Build carefully, choose consciously, and remember, the future is not only shaped by vision, it is shaped by what you return to again and again with devotion. This work grows through word of mouth. If it's been meaningful to you, you can like, share, or subscribe. That's how it reaches the ones who need it.